Hi, all. Like I said in the title, going back to a regular scheduled subject walkway. And sorry about my look. I know I usually do not look this racy, but it's really hot. And when it's really hot, I dress really casually, loose, and like this. One of the reasons why I just added the Mormon Church district dress code, and definitely wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. Of course, the dress was also very conservative on this. But anyway, the reason why I'm doing this video is because today in today's paper, they said that they're not going to have a yearly religious fundraiser in El Memorial, which they always do every year. I'm glad, because just like the Mormon Church, Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, they really are like obnoxiously desperate to get people to join the church and stay in the church. And that's why I said door-to-door religions, because they do go to door, trying to teach you about these religions. Even though I grew up with the Mormon church, I had neighbors and friends who were Mormon, like I mentioned in a previous video, while back, one of my first videos, about what the one organized church site. That has to be organized churches. There's another reason why I'm not an organized person. Might do another video on that, but it's related to the just long sermons, long ceremonies, and just disenchanted going to church. Even though I am a religious and faithful person, and I believe in God and Christ, doesn't mean I go to church. I go to church with my head and heart. And I'm getting sick and tired of these crazy people who are more crazier than me sometimes, say I don't go to church because I criticize the way they live, or they don't follow the rules, don't follow the statute of things. But I do go to church. I follow rules, unlike them. So, bottom line is, they're the craziest ones and don't follow rules. And most of our rules are in the Bible, kind of rules in the Ten Commandments. Just wish people would got that. And this is probably going to be one of my longest videos in a while, and probably will be the longest, if not over 30 minutes, because I have a lot to say between these two churches, the Jehovah's Witness and Mormon Church. And I know I have friends who were Mormon, they're still on. I'm not gonna exactly be happy about this, but I always was disenchanted with the church. Even though some people in other videos say the church doesn't go into the second New Testament, and how they can talk about how Jesus died, and John the Baptist, Matthew, John, Paul, Peter. How are they going to talk about when Jesus was born and grew up? I admit some of the Mormon churches don't talk about that much, except Christmas time. Even Christmas time, they have two of my favorite hymns, Christmas songs, in the hymn book, and they barely play it, even though it's not even in radio either, because I think people are disenchanted by the drummer boy and Old Company of Faithful, but some people like them two songs. I don't know why people don't play them songs very often, but I wish they did. Yeah, they're my two favorites, and they do talk about how to come be faithful, and I think that song should be all year round. Doesn't talk about Christmas stuff. As of very last verse saying, when Jesus Christ was born, and then the drummer boy talks about Christ being born. I just don't understand why people don't sing it in the Mormon church, or I don't think any church, but Mormon church, I can see where some people are right about not talk about New Testament and doesn't sing about anything related to Jesus being born and raised. They're mostly talking about I don't even think they even talk about the Old Testament either. They go more into the Book of Mormon than the Bible. So I'm like way more into the Bible, the New and Old Testament. I grew up with a Lutheran church, Lutheran mom, Protestant father, but grew up in Lutheran church, and I pretty much show myself as a Catholic over a Lutheran, but definitely joined the church, Mormon church for 7 years. Kind of a bad mistake for 7 years, because the East Coast, the East Coast and the West Coast people are like snobby, rich, nothing like the middle of the country, and definitely not Utah. I hope not, because I went to a singles branch in Brighton, New York, and how they kept saying, "Oh, call us if you need a ride. We can pick you up." And no one was over there to come pick me up and stuff. And it's like as soon as I joined, even the president of the branch wife said she can come pick me up if I want her needed ride. However, when her husband suddenly died of leukemia, she was totally disjointed and just totally walked away from the singles branch and didn't even help us at all. Didn't work like she promised from before. Then we have, like I said, we have rich people in our singles branch. Some poor, but the rich people were just so snobby, so cliquey. They had their own set group friends, and they just wasn't so funny at all. And my poor friends had to like, they constantly work and they constantly did things to fill up their life, and then they all of a sudden couldn't give me a ride to the church either. Even on activity nights, like during the week, they when they I had a few friends who thankfully did give me rides, but they left the church, and then I was left like walking to church or just something. So I was very disenchanted about how they kept saying things but breaking promises. It was really disenchanting. And the strictness of the church, yeah, like other people said in other videos, you couldn't drink coffee, you couldn't have wine or alcohol. You had to be really strictly religious to join the temple, and you had to dress like a mommy, and it really just even hot days were 80 and 90 degrees, and I wanted to tie. And one day, I wanted to tie my blouse because it was really hot, and I didn't think that was a big deal. And shoulders showing. I'm like, what makes shoulders sexy? Seriously, it's just shoulders. If you have like this, you have like this, and then shoulders. That's not sexy. Come on. But anyway, can't wear skirts shorter than the knees. I'm like really ridiculous. Even have to wear the garments underneath their clothes. I understand that rule. I can got that rule. But anyway, it's like really hot days. You want to dress as less clothes as you can without being totally risque or nudity or be nude. But seriously, they didn't even want that. It's like ridiculous. In winter, we dress models anyhow in winter because it's so hot. And I can't even tie my blouse. It's like the rules about dress code in the churches are so out there. Drinking alcohol wasn't. I did not drink alcohol when I was with the church because it's easy for me and I can understand the non-alcohol thing. But coffee, oh no, definitely not. I'm not. I'm definitely love my coffee, and I will never give up my coffee because the church told me to. Another thing, I had a person in the church pretending to be me and a few things like with boyfriends, the vibe, other church members, trying to pretend another family member. Like my sister, she didn't even look like me. She um she even went for psychology and social work um, programs, and she was breaking all the fucking rules of being a psychologist and social worker. You're not supposed to impersonate people in the world. So I went to the church person, and then they came and just rubbed it off, and they just like told her to leave the church. They didn't even ask she they didn't ask her to leave the church, but leave the branch of the church and move her somewhere else, like the government, how the government moves around people when they don't fire them. But anyway, I wanted to press charges. I wanted to do something with her, but the church wasn't allowing that. They weren't gonna touch it. So I'm like, probably just chant, chanted and that personation of somebody is illegal. It's by illegal and criminal be impersonation. So that's one of the final nails in the coffin of why I was about to leave the church. The final nails were, like I said, people were breaking promises and just not being there for me. And just the like constant mailing of things when I wasn't going to church. They wanted to check up on me, and the thing told the missionary president and branch locator of mine told them to tell him to stop sending me things and take me off the mailing list. Since 2004, I'm done with the church. I'm gone from the church. I just had enough of the church because they were just not treating me right. So anyway, it's still like the door-to-door churches I had, but had enough too because they are so desperate that they want members and changes people where they think people believe in God. It's like the Southern Baptists go on these kids in the southern south saying, do you to the kids in anywhere. So do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do you believe their word. And if the child says yes, they instantly become Christian, no matter if they're Jewish, Muslim, or any other religion. They instantly become Christian. That's exactly what Mormonism and born again churches are. Obnoxiously controlling and force you to become the church if you believe in something they do. But anyway, also the Jehovah's Witnesses / born again Christians, they're as obnoxious door-to-door church and religion as the Mormon church. They're as strict as the clothing, but everything else you can do in the Jehovah's Witness church. You can bring coffee and alcohol and you're fine, but the missionaries, both churches are just obnoxiously in your face, obnoxiously solidating your door, just forcing you to listen to them, or forcing you to take the pamphlets and stuff. I'm like, if I want to join a church, if I want to be a part of a church, I will go to the church. I will get involved with the church. I would go to a sermon to see what the church is about before I was forced to join, like the Mormons and the born again Christians, because that's all it is. It's just, if you're not going to the church and if they're go door to door thing, they're going to force you. But in any other church, they don't force you. They let you come to them. And that's the church and religion and everything else in life. I don't like being forced to do anything. And this is what many of those religions do, is force you to join. Sorry.